Nope, not around me. I know you love the vibes you get around me. But I'm on a mission on my destiny. Good vibes and working on a recipe. Masterpiece.
What up, y'all? It's Jamal here to get it sauce to y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do an interview with one of my sound engineers who recorded my first ever song, 1 in a Million. I'm gonna put a little link in the description box so you guys can check it out. So without further ado, let's get started. So we have Red here. This is my sound engineer for 1 in a Million. He also recorded my brother by Odessey song. So tell us some things about who you are. Who is Red?
I'm a father. I'm an engineer. I'm a musician, a music lover. I think that sums up in a short answer.
So he has an album out, everyone. Tell us more about your album and what inspired you to make the album.
Well, I have like 5 albums out.
Okay.
I've been doing music for a long time, but No Saviors.
Yeah, No Saviors.
You said what inspired it?
Yeah.
I've been on this path for like 4 years now, where I've been working for myself lately. I quit my job as of 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And the title is No Savers, and the concept is like doing for self.
Okay.
If I say no savers, that phrase to me, it encompasses a lot of things, and that goes for how we love one another. So no saviors just means, you have to control what you put out.
What you put out.
Yes.
I like Food. I like that song on the album No Saviors.
Yes.
What's your favorite verse on that song? What made you write that one?
I don't know what my favorite verse is. I ain't gonna lie. But I was sitting with that instrumental for like 8 months.
8 months?
A long time. I couldn't think of nothing to write to it. I called somebody over that I know, and I had her write something to it. I was like, I can't think of anything, and I want you to write to it.
Uh-huh.
She wrote something. I didn't like what she wrote. She gave me a concept, and she said that based on what she heard in the music, it sounded like I was out and about, like living my life.
Yeah.
So when she said that, it kind of just sparked an idea. So if you listen to the song, it's like I'm walking into the liquor store, paying for my gas, and then I walk out.
Yeah.
And I pump my gas.
Yeah.
And then I'm unfortunately murdered.
Yeah. It's creative. It's a creative song. You guys ain't checked it out, go check it out on his page. What's your YouTube channel name?
But I think my music is on Red Charon.
It's on Red Charon,
yeah.
for sure. I saw it. For sure. I'll put his name also in the description box. Who is your favorite artist and / inspiration, and why?
Always DMX. And I think it was because of the aggression. It was like lyricism mixed with the aggression. But it was like a mixture of shock value because some of the things that he would say, but then to find out the things that he was saying was like his actual story.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of artists, but he was my biggest influence, and I didn't realize that until lately. So his album was the first album I ever bought.
Right.
Because I'm old enough to have CDs in my life.
Right.
So that was the first album I ever bought. And when I bought it, I wasn't in music at that time. I was young. I didn't care about music like that. Mm-hmm. But then as I started creating, decades later, as I started rapping, I didn't know who I was pulling my inspiration from, but then I was asked the question recently, and I realized it was mostly him.
I didn't even know you had different albums. I don't even know about the one.
Oh yeah, I've been doing music for a long time. I didn't start rapping until maybe 10 years ago because that was never my goal. I started in music as a producer. Okay. I didn't know how to engineer.
Right.
I was producing. I fell out of love with it. But 10 years ago, I started a group. I pulled a group together, and I started producing for this group.
Yeah.
But then I started rapping on a necessity. But maybe like 7, 8 years, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, I started rapping a little more seriously because I kind of felt like I was pretty good at it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in that time, man, I got a lot of music out.
I didn't even know this.
But on streaming services, you can only find like 3 of them. But Bandcamp or SoundCloud, I got like 6 projects out.
6.
And I got better over time, so I don't really talk about the old stuff.
Right.
Because I'm like trying to be more appreciative of my gift.
Yeah.
Because I figured why have the ability to mix and produce and rap and not use it, especially if this is what I do for a living, for real.
That's inspiring because like a lot of artists, I think even my brother going through that same situation where it's like you could do more than sing and rap, do both, but then it's like the industry try to put you in a box. So do you ever felt like that was a thing, like even for you right now, like do you feel like you have to be in a box?
Not at all.
No.
Like, because I'm not, I'm not signed or, I'm not beholding to any contract or anything like that. So
Right.
and like that's one of the things that's really made me inspired too, is the fact that I really had the freedom to do whatever I want artistically. So like a lot of people, when I talk to people about them and how they feel about my music, they talk a lot about my concepts.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting concept.
the thing that I least expected with this No Savers album was the fact that so many people would like food.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
like-
surprised that you saying in the interview, but a lot of people mention food, and that's the song that I made last
That's funny.
and put the least effort into.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any such thing as a box, unless, like I said, you're beholden to a contract or a label
Or
and then they're like-
interviews or certain types of things you got to limit to how you say stuff. Yeah.
right. But
Oh, that's very
I'm not signed. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. All right. What were some of the challenges that you faced starting as a sound engineer, audio engineer? Like just getting the setup, getting like bit by bit. Like did you buy stuff all together, bit by bit? What were some of the challenges you faced starting your own
Well,
business?
the main challenge, yes, was money,
Oh, yeah.
because when I first started engineering, I was just doing it at the crib, literally in my first apartment.
Okay.
I was living in Westland, Michigan, little cheap apartment, and I was just having homeboys come through and record. And I had like $400 worth of equipment. It was just a little cheap mic. I think it was a USB mic, man. And the mic was probably like $80.
Yeah.
And I was using, it's an interface that's sitting right on that table right there,
Yeah.
that I was using back then, and that interface was probably $300. And I had it hooked up to a cheap computer. And then, you know, when I was like, because I never intended to be an engineer. So when I started trying to actually do it,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this stuff is expensive, bro.
Yeah.
The microphone I wanted was $1,200 alone,
Sheesh.
and I was broke. In 2015, when I first started engineering for a living,
Yeah.
I was making like $300 a month, and I had like 4 clients. I would get 1 session a week.
Yeah. That's an interesting little side hustle though with $300.
Yeah,
That-
but guess what though?
What?
The rent for the space I was using was $300 a month.
Oh my goodness.
So it didn't matter, bro.
Right.
That was the biggest hurdle, was trying to build a name. But eventually that happened, and then it just it kept multiplying.
So basically, you basically saying that even if an artist don't have a whole lot of money, just pursue it, even if the money seem like it's just going.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the money is not the goal, and that's cliche to hear to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like the money at first is like just the byproduct of what you're doing. It's like you're doing something you love. If you chase something like with the intention of capturing it
Yeah.
for yourself,
Yeah.
the money comes later. And I'm not talking like I'm rich, but I am talking like I'm eating off of this and feeding my
Right.
kids.
It's a living. It's a living.
So
For sure.
at first the money was not like I said, I was just working to keep paying the rent and then I had to go work a job
Yeah.
to
Still.
maintain it.
I just watched an interview with Akon and he literally said something just like, I don't know if you've seen it. He had
No.
said the same thing. He was like, artists, it's still okay to have a 9 to 5 to pay the bills, but while you doing that, don't stop your art.
Right.
He just talked about it. Same thing you just said. It's interesting.
It's true.
I agree. I feel it. What's your next mission, your plateau that you're trying to reach now?
Not doing this anymore. My next stage is having a bunch of people work for me, and it's within reach.
Okay.
Like I already have several people asking to work for me
Yeah.
as engineers or whatever.
You seem pretty introverted. Are you consider yourself introverted?
I'm the introvert king. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to go nowhere
Yeah.
until I do.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm straight, bro.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I feel you on that. I feel like too, as an introvert, like sometimes we can get lost in our head. So I feel like, especially if you're an introvert, you probably need really need therapy because like you're not really talking or around different people. So sometimes things can kind of get in your head.
It becomes an echo chamber.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Because you be in the room, like the room becomes echo chamber. If I have a thought and there's nobody there to combat it, or there's no love in your life, like, and I don't mean romantic love. I mean, let's just say you don't have family. Because there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
If you in a room by yourself, you don't have no outside sources to draw from, and you come up with a thought like, I'm worthless.
Right.
What combats it?
Right. Who's going to tell you otherwise?
If nobody ever taught you how to combat it internally, how do you combat it?
Right. That's good.
Yeah, that's right. Being introverted has been almost more of a hindrance to me than anything else, because you get lost in your thoughts. Being invited to something that I don't necessarily want to go to, and being like, I don't want to go to that, and then going anyway, and then realizing, like, I had fun, bro. It's like challenging your comforts. Because, man, I've been invited to so much stuff, and then, like, in the last 2 months alone, I've been invited to so many things that I wanted to say no to. I've been invited to the club and listening parties and private listening sessions. And, I was invited to a show in Grand Rapids. I've never been to Grand Rapids in my life. That's a 2.5 hour drive.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I had every reason in the world to be like, no, I'm not going.
Right.
But I went. Another thing that I learned as an artist is that when you deny yourself those opportunities to connect with people, which is essentially what being social is all about, you deny yourself the connections and the relationships that can propel you to the next level. Doesn't necessarily guarantee anything, but if I'm in the house, I'm not meeting anybody. Right. If I'm outside,
more opportunities outside.
Ain't nobody walking in here.
Right.
And I'm an engineer, bro. I need clients, and I need people to teach me how to be better. If I meet another engineer outside in the club or wherever, and he teach me some things I never even thought about, I become a better engineer just by a conversation with somebody.
See, now, to me, I feel like because we live in such a tech-savvy world now, you technically don't have to get out the house. You can really find people online through marketing or ads or just reaching out to people. But I feel you. I'm the same way. Like, I have to be in person. Like, I learn better. I connect better with people in person, and it seems like that's what.
So let me. I'm gonna challenge what you're saying.
All right.
I agree with you. I'm the YouTube king.
Okay.
That's all I do, bro.
Yeah.
Before y'all came here and I changed the screen, it was on an interview with G Herbo, and I watch interviews, and that's more like drawing inspiration for life. Like, I listen to interviews of multiple different types of people just to hear people's lives. And to learn something in that aspect, right? But I've learned how to engineer through YouTube and all those sorts of things. I learned how to produce through YouTube and stuff, being self-taught, right? But you asked me like about my start and being an engineer and all of that stuff. When I really started taking it serious 4 years ago, when I quit my job, and like the first week of March, I went and applied to work at a studio, Mix Factory. I went to apply to work for Mix Factory. I was supposed to be certified. On their website, it said they require you to be certified as an engineer because you have to go to school for that. I wasn't certified, but I went and applied anyway, right? The owner of the studio calls me back like 2 days later, and he like, yeah, I've seen your resume. When can you come up here for an interview? He never said nothing about a certification. I was like, I can come up there whenever you want me to. I came up there, did the interview, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, you can start tomorrow or whatever.
Man, it's blessings.
Right? So I'm saying all this to say, when I got in this studio, bro, I've been on YouTube. Now, mind you, this is 2018. I have been engineering for like 10 years already. 9 years.
Right.
When I got in the studio, I went from, let's say on a scale from 1 to 10, I went from a skill level of 3 to like a skill level of 7 in 3 months.
Dedication,
No, not dedication.
No.
Being in person with people that are better than you. YouTube ain't the answer to everything. YouTube could teach you the basics, and it becomes an echo chamber too. Because even the things that you learn off YouTube aren't being challenged by somebody else who knows something different. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So if I go and I find a YouTube channel that I like the way that they teach me engineering, right? I'm only learning that way. But if I go to a studio and I work amongst 20 engineers and they all do things different ways, I'm drawing from 20 different places at one time.
That's smart.
Because outside is where you meet people. And people is how you learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? YouTube is one way. That's cool. But I'm telling you, I learned more in 3 months in that studio than I did at all on YouTube.
And what makes you successful?
I don't know if I'm successful.
Well, to me, this success is different definitions for it. I feel like you're pretty successful. I feel like you started from a place of, you said you didn't have a whole lot of equipment. Now you have a lot more equipment now. You have networked a lot. You're doing this interview, which to me, for introverts, to me, sometimes it's kind of hard to even really get thoughts.
Oh, no, this is easy.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Speaking your mind in a calm environment, right?
It's easy.
It's easy.
And I don't know why. Because I am introverted. I promise I am. But it be certain things that don't bother me though.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. But this is not hard to me.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I've been on stage before and I almost passed out, bro. So then it's like stuff like that. I don't know. But anyway, as far as success, that's subjective. So I don't know. I don't think that I'm successful yet because I mean, it also depends on what way you're talking about. If you're just talking about music, I don't feel like I'm successful at all. At all.
Yeah.
I have so much more stuff I want to do. And I have big ideas.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my girlfriend the other day about some of the things that I've been having in the works. The show that I was telling you about was being one of them.
Right.
But some other stuff that it was almost like when I was writing this stuff down, I was like, this is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea seems so out of my reach that it's almost ridiculous that I'm thinking of it.
I think it was Damon Dash that said that. He was like, if your dreams
don't scare you.
Yeah.
Then you dreaming too small or something like that.
Yeah, ain't big enough. Yeah. Because your dreams got to be something that doesn't seem possible to reach.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's why I was coming up with these ideas for things that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is almost like I had to stop sometimes. Like, what am I talking about? I'm not gonna be able to do this.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's not gonna be until I get to that place where I'm able to achieve those things, and be like and look back like I did that. I won't feel successful, and I might not even feel successful even if I do achieve it. I won't feel like I'm successful until, if I'm to be totally honest, until I'm celebrated.
Yeah.
If I'm being totally honest with you.
That's cool. That's good. So, what do you think people need to hear right now in the world to keep going, from artists and young people, just people in general? Okay, what do you think is needed right now?
Music-wise, you said?
Music-wise, and just what people need to hear. What do you think people need to hear right now?
I don't know. The truth.
The truth?
The truth, yes. Because, and that means in music form or otherwise. Like, yes. I like music that, and that could be vulnerability.
Yeah.
It could be making a song telling people they need to get therapy, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I think people need to hear. Or music by grown men telling other grown men that it's not shameful to love a woman. Meanwhile, they married.
Yeah.
Or that they don't have feelings. They just these cold-blooded sociopathic killers. But they not that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't no killer. You a regular person.
Right.
A bunch of black men making songs about stuff that they'll never do. And it's like, it challenges the idea artistically. Like, when I sit down to write a song, I don't have to be Shoot 'em up bang bang. I could just write a song about my kids. Like, I ain't nobody. I ain't got 1 million fans. I have like 40 fans. People that listen to me, I mean.
And counting.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a father. I wasn't on a song talking about killing people. I was just on a song talking about, trying to leave a legacy for my kids and teach them how to do for themselves and leaving them something other than a bill.
Yeah.
And people resonated with that, even people that don't have kids.
Question: what advice would you give people right now who's struggling with being vulnerable in their music?
Because not everybody has to be vulnerable. I'll tell you that too.
Okay.
Because, so say, people like partying and stuff. You need music for that.
Yeah.
So not everything has to be a deep dive. But if you are an artist and you're trying to achieve some sort of like musical legacy that means something, that's all the question you need to ask yourself. Because if you want to be remembered or if you want to matter, you have to tell the truth. Is your legacy important to you as an artist? Because that's the type of stuff I think about. Yeah. But if you want to make music that's like forever, that's what I'm saying. It has to have substance. Because something that lacks substance or is fake won't last. It just won't.
Yeah.
And that goes for intention behind things and everything. So, if you want to be more vulnerable, just think about the reason you're creating it. If you're going to pass on one day and your kids are going to hear your music when you're not here, tell the truth to them. Yeah. Why would you lie to your kids or your grandkids?
Yeah.
That's what I be thinking about. Because even though I don't have a large audience, my kids are probably still going to double back and listen to my music.
Yeah, just to get the feel of who you were and
yeah, man.
what you leave behind.
That's what I was saying. Like if I died today and my kids live to be 40, 50, 60, 70, they could always go back to listen to my music no matter what. The vulnerability, whether you want to be vulnerable in your music, just shows it goes according to how important you think your music is, I guess. Because if you're just a party artist, if you make music for parties, who cares if you're vulnerable? That's not the point. But if you want to make music that's like forever, that's what I'm saying. It has to have substance. Because something that lacks substance or is fake won't last. It just won't. So if I'm on my music being fake or lying or whatever you want to call it,
yeah,
I'm doing that. I'm doing a disservice to my legacy.
Yeah.
That's how I think about music.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether I'm a millionaire doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's all that matters to me, my kids, bro.
Yeah. And
let me ask you this before you turn it off.
All right.
Why are you interviewing me?
Well, here's the thing. You was the first person I came to record through my brother Jalen, Fine Odessey. And I don't know, you just seem like an interesting person. Like you have like a lot of wisdom about you, I feel like. So I was like, man, let's get this interview going.
You gathered that from our few interactions?
Yeah. And then I seen the little Instagram clips that you had on there, and
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got a good judge.
I was just
character.
curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot. But subscribe to my Instagram. The guys are watching with X over the O in God's.
Where can they find you at?
It's my music, album-wise, Tidal, Apple, Spotify, everything. Amazon, Deezer, whatever. Napster, whatever you need. I'm on all that.
Cool.
Yeah, No Saviors. No Saviors is my most recent. Prayers from the Lows before that. The Guys Are Watching is my album from 4 years ago.
Nope, not around me.